Wife had 3-year affair with her college professor. She claims she was brainwashed by him. Hi everyone. This is a really hard post to write, but it feels therapeutic to write this out. Hopefully I can get some advice along the way. My wife and I have been married for almost 10 years. We're both in our mid-30s. A few years ago, she decided she wanted to go back to college and get her master's degree. We both thought it was a good idea. Our married life was great and we were both very happy. It was the happiest I had ever been. When she started going back to school, life obviously got busier because she had more on her plate. After a few months, her behaviors started to change. She'd stay out later than normal to study at the university library, or she'd meet up with people from class for various projects. Sometimes she'd forget something at the office and have to go get it, even though it was late. I had a feeling something was off, but I had no proof. Everything she said made sense. Sometimes I would verify things or try to find inconsistencies, but nothing. Everything seemed normal. I just thought I was being paranoid. One Saturday morning, I sat down to check my emails. We share a home computer, which she sometimes uses for homework. I noticed she forgot to log out of her account from the night before. Before logging her out, I see tons of emails from one person. I didn't recognize the name, so I went to her Facebook and Instagram accounts to see if she was friends with this guy. Nope. So I Googled him, and it turned out it was her college professor. He was in his 50s, married, and had 3 teenage kids. It looked like he was happily married. I was relieved and didn't think much else about it. The emails seemed innocent. I remember when I was in college, I emailed back and forth with professors all the time. From then on, I never noticed anything suspicious. Again, I thought I was being paranoid. Some time goes by and life gets easier. She was really hitting her stride with school and she wasn't as stressed or busy anymore. We had more time together and we started building a house. Life was essentially on cruise control. Until the nightmare began. It was a Thursday and I decided to come home early and surprise her because I wanted us to go out for dinner at this new place that just opened. As I was driving down our street, I noticed a car pulling out of my driveway. We passed each other and I immediately recognized the guy. It was her old college professor. So I immediately go inside the house and found my wife standing in the kitchen wearing just a towel. She was so stunned that she didn't even know what to say. Like she was fumbling her words asking me why I was home. I immediately asked why her professor had just left our house and why was she in a towel. She told me I was overreacting and nothing had happened. So I went straight up to our bedroom and she tries to stop me. When I got to our room, it was obvious what had happened. I told her I was going to contact his wife if she didn't tell me everything. Finally, she broke down and admitted it all. They had been having an affair on slash off for 3 years. She said it started the semester after she left his class. But she claims that she was brainwashed by him and that she didn't really want to do it. She said he was in a position of power, even though he wasn't her professor anymore, and claims she was manipulated into a relationship over a 3-year period. It's been a week since I found out. I moved my stuff out that next morning when my wife was at her parents' house and I contacted a divorce attorney. I feel like a zombie. None of this even seems real. My wife has been texting, calling, and emailing me nonstop asking for forgiveness and a second chance. Her family's trying to contact me as well to convince me to give her another shot. Today, I finally blocked her on everything and her family. Fortunately, I have a great support system and everyone has been super helpful. I'm going to schedule an appointment with a therapist next week so I can get the ball rolling. I know it will take time to heal, and I know I deserve better. Sorry for the long post. I really needed to get this off my chest. Story 2. My 33F, fiancé, 35M, just ended our engagement, canceled our wedding, and broke up with me because I wouldn't have dated him 10 years ago, and I only want him for his money. I'm at a loss for words and can't stop crying. I don't know what to do and I'm still shocked. We had planned our wedding and already sent out invitations. I haven't even let the guests know and I don't even know what to do. I'm so embarrassed and can't believe he'd do this to me. So here's what happened. I work in therapy and make $65K/up, and my ex is a senior software engineer, a tech lead making $600K/up, and he has a net worth of 7 figures from investing in crypto. I know there's a large income gap between us, but he's always been okay with that and spoiled me, and I have never once asked him for money or anything. I'm not attracted to him because of his success, but because he's a smart, kind man who I know would make a great father to the children we have together. We were scrolling through Facebook, and we were going through one of my bridesmaids' pages, and he saw a picture of me back when I was in college studying art with my then boyfriend at the time, who was a tall jock. He started asking questions like, "Who's that guy?" and "Is that you? Why don't you have any pictures of you from 10 years ago on your page?" And I told him that was my ex, and the past is the past, and I don't want to have that part of my life on my Facebook anymore. So he gets angry at me and says that he's never actually seen the guys I've dated in the past and started asking a bunch of questions. I told him it's none of his business. Anyway, he leaves and I don't hear from him for a few days despite me trying to contact him in every way possible. He contacts me a few days later saying my friend showed him pictures of my past boyfriends and that every single guy I've been with has been a tall white jock and that I was a wild party girl, and then he blew up on me, called me all kinds of nasty words. A gold digger, said I would have never dated him 10 years ago because he's average height and nerdy and skinny, and that I only want him for his money now. I can't believe my friend and bridesmaid would betray me like that and tell him these things to add fuel to the fire. But that isn't the point of this post. He told me that I never make him feel attractive and that I never have with him because I'm not attracted to him and that this proves it. I told him that's not true and I'm insanely attracted to him and love him and my tastes have changed because I want to start a family and I'm not that same girl I used to be and want a man who's made something of himself and is educated like me and that those jocks are losers who I'd never want to start a family with. We were just young and dumb and having fun. He told me don't bother, it's all over. He canceled the haul we had booked. He said our engagement is over and he never wants to talk to me again. I've tried contacting him. I've contacted his friends, his family. Everyone is surprised and they don't know what's going on with him. I just need advice. What am I supposed to do? My whole life has been flipped upside down. We were talking about getting a house together, having children, me being a stay-at-home mom, and now it feels like I've lost the love of my life and the future we had planned together over something that shouldn't matter. Update. I talked to my ex-fiancé again, and apparently my best friend showed him a video of me engaging in some acts with my ex, and he told me from the video I seemed to enjoy it, and that I'd never done that to him. I tried to explain that I was pressured into doing these acts and that I never enjoyed it, that I've grown mature and my tastes have changed, and that I won't ever let myself be pressured like that again, but he wouldn't listen. He sent me a video that he had with my best friend, and they were doing pretty wild stuff I would never do with him or anyone ever again because they're just degrading and disgusting. I'd like to reply to some comments people commenting saying I didn't have with him or make him feel special. I've matured and have different preferences, and I'm not the same wild party girl I used to be. I'm not going to let anyone pressure me into doing something I'm not comfortable with. As for we'd have it pretty often, maybe every 2 or so weeks, which I think is a lot at our age. I'd never initiate because I'm not that type of person, and I did turn him down a lot when he did initiate, but if I'm not in the mood then I'm not in the mood. I think it just shows a lack of maturity on his part, and the comments part, for thinking he's entitled to my body whenever he wants. As for me getting a prenup, I would absolutely not get a prenup. If we marry and I become a stay-at-home mom to raise our kids, I'll have a huge career gap, so I would be entitled to some of his money for the sacrifices I would make during the marriage and for giving him children. I'm still under the belief that the past is the past and it's not his business. A lot of people commenting here need to grow up. People have pasts and that's that. I'm still hopeful my ex and I can mend things, but if not, I'll just start dating again and move on with my life. And I'll have to vet men more to make sure they're not controlling possessive man babies who will throw a tantrum when they don't get their way. I don't think I've done anything wrong and I regret nothing. My ex is behaving like a possessive and controlling child, and many people saying I've dodged a bullet are probably right. All in all, it's his loss. I would have given him everything. Now I'll give it to my future husband instead. I'm the woman who made my 33F fiancé, 35M, just ended our engagement, canceled our wedding.